Sparking Change for Harmonious Living is a TV show that inspires action. It motivates you to start a journey towards a more balanced, fulfilling life. This show explores well-being through spirituality, mental clarity, and physical health. It covers topics like mindfulness, nutrition, fitness, and spirituality, giving you practical advice to enhance your life. Tune in for a transformative adventure that ignites the change you seek.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sparking Change for Harmonious Living. I am your host, Giovanna Tartarone.
And I'm your co-host, Ahmed Bahman.
Welcome. In today's show, we're going to be talking about two of my favorite topics, faith over fear, and how we can live harmoniously when we can really understand both of these very important emotions that truly guide us in our life, in our everyday interaction with decision making in our life. So, Ahmet, let's dig right into it.
Well, a lot of people, when they look at fear, to me, what does fear stand for? FEAR.
False
Some people
evidence.
say it's false evidences appearing real or false emotions appearing real, right? Because it's your emotions will sort of like signals back to you that it's evident there's something for me to be afraid of. But fear is nothing. Fear is actually an absence of something else. Fear is an
Exactly.
absence of faith. It's like when somebody is, you see him, okay, he's courageous, he has faith, but that doesn't mean that he's not afraid at certain times. You see, the way Earl Nightingale stated, he said, the opposite of courage is not cowardice, it's
Mhm.
conformity. So
Exactly.
courage, what is courage? Courage is basically someone who can carry on in whatever channel he's active in, despite the fear. This is what courage
Exactly.
is. So how you incorporate faith into filling the gap of that absence to eliminate the fear. Now this is a key, right? It requires self-discipline. It requires a correct pattern of thinking and to tune into things emotionally that is more favorable in the direction of faith.
And not only that, I think also when we start asking ourselves questions like, what am I afraid of? What is the worst thing that can happen? And when we really try to analyze it, at the end of the day, it's not so bad after all.
No, it's not
We,
bad at all.
right, it's our mind with the thoughts of the unknown that sets us into fear. And in some cases, it'll paralyze us, right, from actually taking
Mm.
action to doing
You you
something that we could.
you you analyze something on a negative scale so deeply that you start to have form something called the analysis paralysis. I I
Yeah.
have I have an aunt because I used to suffer from anxiety
Hmm.
way back during my late teens. So she once gave me a very small book, and it was called Calm. And every day I would just read the quote on that page. So I
Yeah.
just flip a page and I read the next. One page stood out to me. It says that do not worry. 98% of the things that you worry about never come to happen. So don't worry, right?
And Bob used to say, if we have worry, fear, doubts, it's only because we don't know something.
Yes. And that's absolutely true. For example, he discussed about the laws, the universal laws,
Mm-hmm.
that if you do understand them to a great degree, and you establish faith because of the understanding of these laws. So this is what he called faith based on understanding. Therefore, you will not doubt and worry anymore because you know that these laws do work. But for a human being to reach to that state, they have to undergo the process. They have to grow through what they go through,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
For them to really test the waters, they may initially start with their toes. I mean, I know some people, they go just dive right into it,
Oh, absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
Price Pritchett always said, he said, make your move before you're ready. Don't let fear stop you from what you want to do, but it has to be a noble path. It has to be something good. It has to be something that is not just going to raise you, but something beneficial to everyone else as well.
Absolutely.
Intention and alignment. And if you know you're doing something good, then why worry? Why doubt?
You
There
know,
is a. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I wanted to just mention we talking about belief, right? Because this is why we worry and we doubt is because we don't believe that we're able to. And that's how it all begins.
Well, if you're willing, then you're definitely able. Steve Bow said it best.
Hmm.
He said, God's gift to us is more talents and abilities than we'll ever hope to use in our lifetime. Our gift to God is to develop as much of that talent and ability as we can in this lifetime.
Absolutely.
Talent is already there. The question is, are you willing to acquire it? If you're willing, the ability is there.
I always say we come here with gifts and talents that we absolutely can share and do it with the
Yes,
world, right? And
absolutely.
what really stops us is our fear of
And
the
and he,
unknown.
and but if you have faith, right? Instead of thinking of fear, think of the opposite. Okay, tell yourself, I have faith. I'm always in alignment with God. I am a servant of God. And I will empower and encourage and embrace only godly things, right?
And I'm
You don't
able.
go to God when when you're in trouble, but even during your celebrations, even your happy times, every day, all the time, when you give your gratitude, for example, these certain exercises that you do on a daily basis allows your faith to get stronger and stronger and stronger. It's like if you go into the gym, right? You want to have biceps, you want to have a good chest, you want to have you want to have abs, for example. Consistency and self-discipline is key.
Absolutely.
Why? Because the belief will come in. It will come in at a certain period of time that you feel that you can ask for anything you wish. And why fear and why worry and why doubt? You see, if you understand these laws, you will develop an emotional state called faith. It's your key to freedom. It's
Love that.
literally your key to freedom. You will not worry or doubt anything anymore. You know for a fact nobody can, you know, get out of this life alive, right? Yes, we have life insurance, but life insurance does not bring your life back. It just covers the expenses for your household, takes care of the affairs for you.
And
But
we
where
know,
does, yes,
I'm so sorry. We know that we can only choose one or the other.
one or the other?
You cannot
Here's
do
the
something and be in both, right?
absolutely, and my mentor, uh, brother Troy, always says. He said, "Do you know what's funny about fear and faith? Is that both of them require you to believe in something you cannot see.
And I see.
So,
I
so which side are you going to be on?
I love that. You know, and you practice, and you said before, practicing in the unseen.
Yes,
You build that muscle that you believe that it's going to happen no matter what. And that's really
Absolutely.
what it takes in order to move mountains, because we hear it all the time, right? Faith can move mountains.
Yes. So I have a little, uh, a couple of short paragraphs that I want to share. It says faith is loyalty to unseen reality. We are told that faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. By faith, we understand that the world was created by the Word of God. So things which are seen are made out of things that do not appear. You see, the thing is, when you understand the laws, the things that you want in your life comes from the unknown. But if you know the laws and you're applying them correctly, just know for a fact that the results of what you seek and do are always known. Those results will appear in your life. So it continues, if you see it clearly, you will see that faith does not give reality to unseen things. It is loyalty to the unseen reality that gives meaning to the word faith. It's just like when we say absence of evidence is not evidence of absence.
Exactly.
Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. So all things exist, eternity exists, and all things being eternally independent of creation. So, on this level, the shadow level, the material world, we do not see the reality. We do not see the source, the cause of it all. Therefore, that's where we are called upon to exercise faith. See, faith is loyalty to unseen reality, things not you see by sight, but things that you see in your vision. It really is the abandonment of self. It's an act of self commission. A man cannot commit himself to what he does not love, and scriptural faith is faith in God. So, any idea that we have of God which does not spontaneously call for, out of our hearts, the feeling of love, is not a true idea of God. For the whole basic matter is that God is love. It is the awareness, the understanding of this truth that will change your life forever. But I cannot show it to you. I can only ask you to believe it and yield completely to this presence within you. Basically, an act of surrender. For by him all things are made, and without him was not anything made that is made.
So beautiful. And when no matter what situation you're in, whether it's, you're looking to excel in your career or be in better health, it really comes down to believing first. First, you must see yourself well. You must see yourself in that position you want. You must see yourself and believe that you can achieve it in order to receive it. And I
Yes.
truly believe that. And I practice it myself, with my own health and my own situation. Um, just having faith that this is what I wanted. And why wouldn't God want that for me too?
See,
Right?
it's amazing what you're saying. And everybody should think and feel this way. But most people, they dismiss the idea as soon as it comes. They don't feel that they're worthy of it. They don't feel that they deserve it. I want you to know that all of you deserve it. And if you're not feeling it, ask yourself the question, why I'm not getting the feeling that I deserve it? Could be something that you're not acting upon, right? You get these impulses, but you're not acting on them. You see, action also inspires faith. Whatever you're seeking is seeking you. So if you're acting on the thing that you wish to receive, because everything must be earned in this world, there's no such thing, something for nothing. Whatever you give out comes back multiple fold. So if you act on it every day and you're doing the inner work, you believe through faith in the unseen reality. Whatever you have in your vision, you'll get to see. Moves from vision to sight. It will come around in your experience.
Can we touch a little bit upon, the beliefs, our conscious mind, our subconscious mind, and how it plays a great part in um, creating either fear or faith?
Yes. As first of all, I wanted to tap into one prayer that Napoleon Hill used to say it all the time. And this prayer, you see, fear and faith is a result of something, right? Is a result of someone who has either taken possession of their own mind and directing it to whatever ends they desire,
Mm-hmm.
or the ones that have basically been heedless and just allowed their mind to flow freely as wherever it takes them, right?
Drifting. Mm-hmm.
Drifting. So if you allow your mind to drift, it's in a very bad, I mean, you'll be in a very bad state. You don't want to allow your mind to drift anywhere on its own. You don't want to have any suggestions from outside of you that is negative and you therefore you passively accept it. But there's this prayer that Napoleon Hill stated, and he used to read it all the time. And he goes, "O divine providence, I ask not for more riches, but more wisdom with which to make wiser use of the riches you gave me at birth, consisting in the power to control and direct my own mind to whatever ends I might desire." Now, to me, when I read this, it's something so profound because God has blessed every human being with a mind. This is your store, warehouse, workshop, whatever you wish to call it. You can create anything you want. You can project it and then allow the reflection to take place on the outside. You live that for primary reality, and then you'll experience it in the secondary reality, which is outside of you.
Just to connect with that, we know that everything, whether it's a phone, whatever you have in front of you, had to be created twice. Once
Yes.
in the mind, visually for you to see it, and then in physical form.
And it's all energy. Everything's energy. All the physical objects that you see is all energy, right? But it used to be a different kind of energy. It used to be thought energy initially.
Exactly.
See, energy cannot be created or destroyed, but it can be transformed. You are a living transformer. You transform one energy form into its equivalent. You have the ability to do so. There is an abundance of ideas out there. There is so much resources and materials yet untapped. But it's never outside of you. Now, in regards to taking possession of your mind, Andrew Carnegie mentioned something very powerful to Napoleon Hill. And he told him, everyone comes to the earth plane blessed with the privilege of controlling his mind power and directing it to whatever ends he may choose. Now, whether good or bad, you
Yeah.
have the free will. But he continued, everyone brings over with him at birth the equivalent of two sealed envelopes, one of which is clearly labeled The riches you may enjoy if you take possession of your own mind and direct it to ends of your own choice. But what is it? It's self discipline and it's your responsibility. And the other is labeled the penalties you may pay if you neglect to take possession of your mind and direct it. So, are you being disciplined, or are you going to be someone heedless who's going to drift and neglect taking possession of your own mind? And then he goes, and now let me reveal to you, said Mr. Carnegie, the contents of these two sealed envelopes. And the one labeled riches is this list of blessings. Number one, sound health. Number two, peace of mind. Number three, a labor of love of your own choice. Number four, freedom from fear and worry. Because, as Sister Giovanna said, you cannot think of faith and fear at the same time. So, if you are disciplined and you take possession and keep on directing your mind toward faith, you won't have time to worry about pitiful things. A positive mental attitude, and then material riches of your own choice and quantity. Now, in the sealed envelope labeled penalties, is this list of prices one must pay for neglecting to take possession of his own mind. Number one, ill health. Number two, fear and worry. Number three, indecision and doubt. Number four, frustration and discouragement throughout life. Number five, poverty and want. Number six, and a whole flock of evils consisting of envy, greed, jealousy, anger, hatred, and superstition.
It's just amazing how, we're not taught this in school. We're not taught this in any books unless you are ready to understand that. And unfortunately for me, I had to be through my own personal experience of being at the rock bottom of my life with my health to know there was some changes I needed to make in the way I was thinking, in the way I was addressing just life experiences, in order to take possession of my mind. And
Absolutely.
I can tell you that once you do that, once you're in control of your thoughts and you accept or reject what comes into the mind, like you said before, you reached freedom. You
Yes.
reached freedom.
And the thing is this, if I want to break it down in a more layman term, it's whatever goes through you, right? If you're going to feed yourself, let's say, junk food every day for over a period of 3, 4 months, how's your health going to stand out? It's the same thing with what kind of information you're entertaining in your mind rent free. Think of it as a reserve bank. What do
Yeah,
you want to invest in it, right?
right, right.
Because the dividends that comes out of that really pays off. Invest healthy thoughts, invest noble thoughts, great thoughts.
And, I must say that the environment that you're in, or the TV that the news that you're watching, like there is a lot of different things that are being fed to your mind that you have a choice either to shut it off, social media, going on Facebook and Twitter and TikTok, you're also being fed information that if you get emotionally involved with it and you begin to feel, fear of what you're hearing, that is so unhealthy for us, so unhealthy for the mind.
You you see, the mind can only retain whatever you keep on entertaining.
Of course.
So if you are in a state of fear, that's a result of accumulation of a lot of negative entertainment in your own mind that you just allowed it day in and day out. Now, the body always expresses what's in the mind. If you're having anxiety, doubt, and fear and worry, it's an expression that comes out from whatever has been rooted in you. So, therefore, we need to do a mental adjustment, and then realign ourselves in that direction and create new neural pathways or certain grooves for us to get accustomed and used to.
So
It's
beautiful.
all
Yeah.
it's all a habit.
It's
Nothing more,
retraining the
nothing
mind.
less. Absolutely.
And again, you take a lot of people who are worried about their finances and, their next um, job or their next home. All of that is created by ourselves. We create
Absolutely.
because we're focused on lack or not having enough or not doing enough. And therefore, what are we getting? More of it.
Everything is in your consciousness. If you don't have financial freedom in your consciousness, then you're not going to see it in the expansion of the consciousness, which is your world that you live in.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's take it down for a landing. This topic is so important. I think it definitely needs more time because it really drives our behavior, our actions, and ultimately our results in our lives. So,
Absolutely.
if we have a choice, which
You
we
always
do,
do.
we always do, choose faith over fear. I think that's a winning formula. Everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Ahmed, do you want to say final words?
Well, if you stick around faith wholeheartedly, you will shock yourself like within a couple of months about, and probably you'll laugh, over how you used to feel before. But be committed, open your heart. God is always present. Not that He's never there. We're not present in alignment. So, this is where you have to realign and just walk this path, experience it, and your life will never be the same.
Thank you. That was beautiful. Well, thank you everyone for joining us on Sparking Change for Harmonious Living. And until next week, have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.
See you all next week. Bye bye.
Thank you for joining me on Sparking Change for Harmonious Living. I hope that our episode today has ignited a spark within you to create positive change in your own life and in the world around you. To learn more about how you can become a guest or supporter, head over to sparkingchangenow.com. If you enjoyed today's episode, please consider subscribing, sharing, and leaving a review. Your feedback is incredibly valuable to me, and it helps me to continue producing content that sparks change in each of us and the world. You can find us on various platforms, including Google Play Store, Apple App Store, YouTube, Facebook, Roku, Android TV, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Thank you again for watching, and I look forward to having you join me again next week on Sparking Change for Harmonious Living.